When I was studying computer science in college 1.5 years ago, suddenly from nowhere I got the idea of creating a game. So I googled the internet and I came across Game Maker. As the name explains itself, it is used to create games. And I started working on it with not even watching a single YouTube tutorial video, and I don't even know what I was doing. So after some time I uninstalled Game Maker and installed Unity, as many people suggested that, but this time I was not dumb as I was before, and I watched some YouTube tutorials which explain the basics of Unity. I am ready with Unity, searching for an idea for my first game.
Trust me, keep it simple. If your first attempt at making a game turns out to be a one-room platformer with bad collision that you took 3 weeks to build, be proud of that because you built it. You actually got it done. You made a game.
Thanks to Mr. Credits, so I made the one level game, which came out to be the world's dumbest game ever. It was made with sprites of circles, squares, and yeah, that's it. You need to jump across these things, and at the end you jump on this thing with high bounciness, you win. That was cool. I wanted to make a game that I can show and at least say that I made a game, so this time instead of level based game, I thought of creating an endless game where the goal is to make an high score. I watched one of the live streams made by Brackies where he made Dodge the Blocks game. It seemed easier for me as a beginner, so I made the exact game but with different assets. Assets from online. But it was worth making at least as practice for a beginner. I showed the game to my mates and they were like, "Nice game, man." And I also learned Unity a bit more, so I don't have to watch tutorials each time to make another game. And when I wanted to create my second game, I again had the problem of scarcity of ideas. So I created clones of other games like Zigzag Ball to get more familiar with Unity. But the real game is really cool. Sorry, Mr. Creator of Zigzag Ball, for making a dumbest version of your game. I also made other small games which I never published, but I made them only for the purpose of learning Unity. Then I made a game which I also published named Ball Rush, where the player as the ball has to keep going down and escape these spikes. This game is definitely based on a game in an older mobile phone. I don't even remember the name, I just know this is how the game works. You can comment down below if you know the name that I am trying to say, which has the same game mechanics. After publishing several games, I started getting comments from my friends. "Hey man, why don't you create 3D games?" Yeah, why shouldn't I? I just can't download assets from online, create a 3D game and say, "Hey man, I created a 3D game by myself." So I learned Blender, which can be used to create 3D models that can be used in games. I learned it for about 2 to 3 months trying to grasp the basics, and somehow I was able to create something that I can say is a 3D model, I guess. After a lot of learning, creating game projects I don't even know why I created, I finally started working on creating a fully functional 3D game, but this time level based, which was really unusual about me because I always create endless games. I was a fan of Plant vs Zombies, where the zombies try to invade the home. That was the idea I had, but as FPS, and with really unusual thing that I created my own assets. Because I told you I learned creating 3D models. I created aliens instead of zombies. The idea here is they are coming in search of home and everyone in that street is either dead or surrendered, except one named Mr. Pot who used weapons to defend himself. He also helps the player providing weapons. I even created a game trailer. I later realized that the game was too heavy for Android because I usually create games for Android. I wanted the game to be small, light and not to feel like a AAA game, so I reduced some graphics in there. I even converted it from a street battle into a lawn battle. I also turned it into a top-down shooter game. I never thought I would do that, so I never even created a player. Already spent a lot of time in game mechanics, so I got the player from a free online website and some animations too. After some performance correction, I was finally able to run the game smoothly on Android. That's it, I guess, all the games that I made officially and published on Play Store. If you want, you can try them. Link is in description. I also made games for this YouTube channel, one called YouTube Game where you play to get more subscribers, and I also made Chrome Dinosaur game in Unity with some colorful graphics. I made separate videos for both, you should definitely check them out, and you can also download the games. So that's it, I guess. I made in 1.5 years of my game development journey. Definitely some people would have achieved even more in less time, but this is all I was able to make. Even though I have less number of games published, I learned a number of things making them. I have a large number of unfinished projects, small games that I make only for me, and I even tried creating multiplayer games and learned a lot. So that's it for this video. If you like the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to follow me on my game development journey, you can do so here in YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. That would help me a lot, and I'll see you soon.